السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم إنا نستعينك ونستغفرك ونستهديك ونؤمن بك ونتوب إليك ونتوكل عليك ونثني عليك الخير كله نشكرك ولا نكفرك ونخلع ونترك من يفجرك. اللهم إياك نعبد ولك نصلي ونسجد وإليك نسعى ونحفد نرجو رحمتك ونخشى عذابك إن عذابك بالكفار ملحق. Assalamu alaikum again, once more. Welcome everyone. Inshallah, we will continue to study the story of Mary in the Qur'an. We are coming to the end of our studies of the Mary in the Qur'an. So we will try our best to finish it today. If not, let's see next week. So we studied the story as it is mainly narrated in the section Mary, 19th section of the Quran. We studied up to verse 34. Now, it is wrapping up also the subject in that section. Such was Jesus, son of Mary, ذلك عيسى بن مريم. So, قول الحق. So, this is a statement of the truth. I mean, what we have told so far in the Quran is the statement of the truth, about which they still dispute. Yeah, we know that, isn't it? Everybody knows that. الذي فيه يمترون. Yamtarun has two meanings. One is disputing, of course, and also doubting about the reality of Isa ibn Maryam. Isa, the son of Mary. Still, we know that in practical life nowadays, among Christians and Jews, and Muslims are very settled down about it, and they have their own interpretation that it is presented to us in the Quran. But Jews and Christians, Jews seem to be very settled down in their understanding by rejecting Jesus' prophethood or messengership or any special case for him, ignoring his existence. We are not going to argue whether they are right or wrong, but that is what their stand is. We are going to, of course, study. We have been studying what the Quran states about it. And of course, we are not studying the story of Mary, neither, inshallah, when we start studying the story of Jesus, we will not study the stories of the prophets from historical perspective. So what it signifies, and especially what they represent to us as far as our practical life is concerned. Of course, we are not reading the revelation, the speech of God, guidance of God for my real human existential questions to be answered. I wouldn't read this book as a book of story. That is obvious. Now, what do? They dispute about the nature of Jesus, and also including his mother. They are doubtful about it. They argue among themselves whether, of course, as the completely Jewish culture completely ignores the existence of Jesus as something, a significant person, historically or metaphorically, whatever Jesus represents, they just ignore it. On the other hand, Christians, we all know that they are trying to justify the nature of Jesus for how many years? We know it is the Christian era, so 2,200 years, or 2,000 years, not 200, sorry, 2,000 years. Have they settled down? No. Have the argument finished among them? No. Do they have still doubtful attitude towards the nature of Jesus? Yes. What is the problem? Now, we will, when we study the story of Jesus, God willing, inshallah, we will talk about it, but a brief, very, very short introduction, whether he was a human, fully human, partially human, one aspect of God, or adopted son of God, and he's just fully divine or partially divine, partially human. And what else? They had something else. Let me. As God is the Father of Jesus, of course, no one says Mary is God's wife. I mean, we shouldn't be simplifying in order to accuse some other people and make ourselves feel great. No one says that Mary is God's, but God penetrated into, of course, spiritually speaking, into Mary, spiritually speaking, and breathed into him from his spirit, and blew into him his kalima, his command. In this word, the kalima means command, and she impregnated. So really, Jesus is the Son of God. Not necessarily that two human beings, men and women, get together and a child is born, not in this form, but Mary is a woman, a human being, and God as God. So they united in the nature of human being, Mary, and in the nature of God as God. If you like, according to them, as a supernatural being, or I don't know whether they say the creator of the universe, but do they have the concept of absoluteness of God? That is a bit doubtful. But creator of the universe, yes, they believe, they really believe that God is the creator of the universe. But this God has three appearances. One is as the creator of the universe. The other one is as the spirit of, if you like, Holy Spirit, but spirit in the universe. Of course, we call it angels, but they call it another form of God manifesting himself in the universe, and also the Son of God. Really, as we see it, the Son of God, they say. So if someone wants to communicate with God, they have to go through the Son of God, because the Son of God, God has appeared in the universe in the form of Jesus. We will study this. We will study in depth. Really, it is theologically very significant point. So I'll pass on to verse 35. If you don't want to ask or comment or ask any question, any points you want to make, otherwise I will pass on to verse 35. Okay, a few seconds. No one, you can interrupt me anytime. 35 says, it is not conceivable that God should have taken unto himself any son. Of course, this is a very generous statement. Some Christians say, no, we don't say there are three gods. Definitely not. Some people say three appearances of God. These are all interpretations. But the Quran makes it clear and straightforward. ما كان لله أن يتخذ من ولد سبحانه, but he's an absolute being, a walad, a child. We know that, and we will again deeply study this subject while we are studying, inshallah, the story of Jesus. Walad means not only a child born out of a lady, or a father had connected his life with a lady, and the lady became pregnant and the child is born. Not in this sense, of course not. And no one says that. But what does it signify? God had, according to this understanding of having a son, God had a son which has inherited his qualities. What does it mean? There are things, especially Jesus as a son of God, representing the qualities of God in this world. I'm saying it slowly because it's very important. In this world, in this universe, within this universe, representing God. Of course, Qur'an is very clear, straightforward, no doubt. Nothing can represent God in the universe. Nothing can have any piece of reflection, not reflection, that very small piece of fragment, I want to say, fragment of God's absolute qualities, because absolute cannot be divided. We must know, we all know that. Absolute cannot be divided. Anything which is dividable cannot be infinite. So if you can imagine, which is not possible, impossible to imagine, but if you can imagine any piece of infinite, it must be of the nature of infinite again. So this brings us to understanding that the universe may have, in the created form of the universe, everything or some of it may have some qualities of God. It means, very simple, how the Christian understanding of God having a son, representative, or whatever the form of God within the created universe, gave birth. This is very important again, in order to understand today's main materialistic, naturalistic way of understanding the existence of anything. The things may have some qualities of God, so that they can be cause of existence of something else. Of course, if it is the creator, then by definition, creator means a self-existing being. So in Islamic point of view or Quranic point of view, accepting Jesus in any form at all, in any form, whatever the way they interpret, that the Jesus, a being in this universe, has any kind of quality, that means by extension, anything of the universe will entertain the quality to carry in their nature to have the creatorship, which means while those people are under the influence of this Trinity, God is God, the creator, no problem about it. The Father, I'm representing the creator, and Holy Spirit, it means God's manifestation in the form that it is everywhere in the universe, but they don't make it clear, as the Quran says. This is just manifestation of it, not an aspect of Godhood, not a Godhead, but not aspect of the nature of God's qualities in this world. Why it is doubtful there, what they mean by Holy Spirit, it is not very clear. Nothing is clear in Christian theology, by the way. But when it comes to Jesus, it has divine qualities. Why? Because he was the creator of his miracles. Only God can create miracles. So Jesus created. It means Jesus had the quality to create. This is a very serious problem. It, of course, gave birth to claiming those people that the matter has the quality to create. It means causes explicitly, no one says this. The causes, the relationship within the causal chain causes the existence of the effects. It means they cause the effect to exist. It means they are the creators. That is what the philosophy of, in general, materialistic view is based on. In fact, it is not expected to emerge from Muslim understanding, impossible Islamic understanding, but some Muslims may have this understanding. That is up to them. We don't agree with them, and we don't approve them. The Quran never accepts this. But why this materialistic worldview emerged in the Christendom is obvious, that their interpretation of the nature of God and Jesus opened up this way of understanding the creation. So it is a very dangerous understanding. We don't blame Christianity, not because, they say that Jesus is God. And no, not that simple. But at the same time, it opens up, it paves the path to go into causal explanation of the existence of the universe. Causal explanation means universe itself is acting now, especially accepting the Torah tradition that as it is approved by the Christian theology. Unfortunately, not that Jesus propagated this or Jesus approved it, but definitely not. he was really reviving the belief side of Torah teaching in his time among the children of Israel. That is something historical. So we have to be very conscious that, very aware that if somebody accepts that causal chain is effective. It means the causes are the creators of the effects. It means the universe is understandable within its own order because the causal chain are going on. That is why God is resting, according to Judaism, on Saturday, and according to Christian tradition on Sunday. Doesn't matter really. The conflict between them caused the difference about the day. Otherwise, really, the great majority of Christendom approve the Sabbath. Sabbath, it means the Saturday sacredness, if you like. The Saturday prohibition, or whatever you call it. You cannot work on Saturdays. So the days are not important, but one day God completed the creation and finished. What does it mean? That now the creation is automatically working by itself. It means either through the nature of the things, because the created things can have divine qualities in the case of Jesus, as in the case of Jesus, but also it's not very deeply and really extensively explained what it really means, this Ruh al-Qudus. Of course, we have to be careful. Ruh al-Qudus in Christian theology is completely different from the Ruh al-Qudus in Qur'an. Ruh al-Qudus in Qur'an is the angel appointed by God and employed by God, and only executes God's command. He has no power to create at all. God creates, but the angels transform God's order into visible three-dimensional or four-dimensional, whatever you call it, world in the universe as we experience here. This transformation, absolute, here appears to be in the form of transient creation. So this manifestation is explained through the angels, and Ruh al-Qudus in the language of the Qur'an. This Gabriel is the one who brings the news, gets the news from God, and presents it to the messenger. That is the very general understanding of it. So I think this God is having a son is not to be understood to me. Simple, straight away, literally, but something really symbolically explaining a kind of understanding of existence, how to interpret existence. Okay. إذا قضى أمرا فإنما يقول له كن فيكون. It means Quran states his clear explanation of the existence. Whenever God himself wants to bring into existence, he doesn't have to do anything. As he wills, it becomes. It is, of course, explained in the Quran in terms of human conception, be and it is. It means God says be and it is, no doubt. Finish. It means it is directly related to God's will. Nothing in between. The creation as the direct will of manifestation of the will of God as it appears to be here. Whatever we see in this world, with no exception whatsoever, with no exception whatsoever. So we have to be very careful while we love the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. We want to respect him. We are indebted to him because of the message he brought to us and represented in his life and transferred the message to us under very severe living conditions. So we appreciate him, but this appreciation should never go to the point that he was the source of existence of anything, including his values, including his practices, everything. Every single event in the life of Prophet himself and what he did in this world and his relationship with his friends around him is created by God, and Muhammad in this sense has nothing different from any other creature. So we must be very careful. We see in an effort to pay respect to the Prophet, sometimes we start, going into extremes, if you like, exaggerations, and saying that Muhammad was like this, and as if he is the owner of his virtues. We have to be very careful about it. Okay, I'm done with this verse. I spoke a lot about it because we don't need that much while we are studying the story of Jesus. We will go into details anyways. So, any comment here? I'm passing to the following slide. Right. Okay. Jesus continued. Now, that is the style of the Qur'an. What does it do? Jumps from one point to another, but it is not a jump. While the Qur'an is mentioning something, maybe a jurisprudential matter, maybe a narration of the story of a prophet, etc., the Qur'an doesn't really take the reader into this subject and get the reader lost into the subject. Suddenly he takes out of the subject matter and starts mentioning the fundamental teachings of the Qur'an, as we experience now. While he was studying the marriage situation, and suddenly he changed the subject, the Qur'an changed the subject, and stated the nature of creation in this world. Now goes back, because the purpose of the Qur'an is not narrating the story, but giving teaching fundamental principles of understanding what the reality, what the truth is all about. So now we are coming back, and Jesus continued speaking. Now God is my Lord. وَإِنَّ اللَّهَ رَبِّي. God is my Lord and your Lord. وَرَبُّكُمْ. It is interesting. God is my Lord and your Lord. وَرَبُّكُمْ. فَعَبُدُوهُ. Now, Jesus is speaking where? In the cradle, it's a baby, as a witness that in a miracle, there are two purposes in this miracle. First, to purify or to declare the innocence of her mother, because her mother said, I'm not going to speak, but the effect is going to speak. So effect means I'm not the cause is God and what he created. The creature is going to witness that everything is created by God. Mother has nothing to do with the birth of the child, and mother and father have nothing to do with the birth of the child. Every event is created individually and directly by the will of creator. So here Jesus also is speaking and declaring, it means every effect. We studied this, that's why I'm just passing by. It means every effect, whatever is appears in the creation, says the one who organized me here, located me here in this position, gave me existence, and gave me the way that I am functioning. I'm created in this way, is God. My Rab is the one who arranges me and everything, is God. God means the creator. Ilah means the creator, the sole responsible of the existence of whole universe. It is God. And it is not only God of the effect, but it is God of you as well. He is the one who creates you as you are here with your qualities, etc. So every effect says, you cannot worship me, you cannot see me the source of to be the source of existence of itself or anything else. You cannot see me and regard me as the one who benefits you, nourishes you, takes care of you at all. That is God. Fa'budu. Therefore, you have to present your gratitude, your thankfulness, and you have to see that your ilah, your point of worship is God. Don't worship anything of this universe but him. That's what Jesus said this as it is narrated, but we understand that every being says, don't worship me, worship God, the creator of the whole universe. هذا صراط مستقيم. So this is the straight path. Yeah. Which means if you follow this understanding, then you will be on the straight path. That is, whatever you see in this world as created as an effect, it means here it is. Here it is in front of you. When you study it, it takes you straight to the creator of the universe. You cannot explain its existence in any other way at all. Of course, you can claim everything, but with no evidence. And also the relationship between the created world and the creator is a straight path. It means there is no deviation in it. There is no any element in it so that interferes between the creation and God as far as the creation is concerned. But for example, in human human activities, we choose, God creates. We are not interfering into the creation, but God gave human beings the freedom to choose, and I will create according to my usual way of which is the order that I established in the universe, according to my order, I will create you. So whatever you want, whatever you want. And also, while we have to be very careful, while we are choosing from among the already existing order that we learn from this order, how to ask God to create it. When we choose which one we prefer, which way we prefer within the order, as far as the order allows us to choose, when we choose any way of asking to be created, God promises that it will create, as long as it is within the options of the order which are presented to us by the Creator. So it directly takes you to God again. You cannot say that I am the Creator, because, I mean, tongue can say it, but you will not have any evidence which will interfere between you and your God, saying that, oh yeah, God created this, and through this I am benefiting. For example, God created the clouds, and through the clouds the water is coming. No, the creator of the clouds and the creator of the high pressure, the creator of the pressure of the atmosphere, creator of the climate and everything, and the dropping of each raindrops and the gravity, everything is created directly by the creator of the universe. That is how he is an absolute being, operating on every single being at every moment with their own qualities at the same time. That is why absolute cannot be comprehensible. It means, how come? Yeah, of course, there is no example in this universe which has any quality of such qualities at all. So we cannot make comparison. And if we cannot make comparison, or when we cannot make comparisons, we cannot imagine how it acts. So we cannot compare anything to infinite. Impossible. So finish 36. I would stop here. Sirat al-Mustaqim is understood, and also fa'budu, and every effect says worship him alone, but nothing else. That is the summary of what I understood from 36. Anyone otherwise 37? You can interrupt me. There is no need to waste time. Yet their various groups have differed among themselves concerning the nature of Jesus. Now, we studied this to a certain extent. So the third said, the groups of people in Judaism, Christianity, the others don't care about the nature of Jesus. They differed in their among themselves about the nature of Jesus. Min bainihim فَوَيْلُ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا. What suffering will come to those who reject the truth? What does it mean? What suffering will come to those who reject the truth when they witness a tremendous day? So we won't go this مشهد يوم عظيم. So من مشهد يوم عظيم. ويل يوم فويل للذين كفروا. Why كفروا here? Of course, the denial in the Quran is used in general, if it is not specifically mentioned with another qualification. It means denying the absoluteness of the Creator, as the word believer, mu'min, in the Quran, or amenu, or yu'minun, whatever the form, the grammatic structure of the verses required to have, by definition, believe in God, unless otherwise specified in the context of the Quran. Here is الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا, it means denied God. Now, why? This is it a denial of God? Although the Christians say we believe in God. But Jesus says, no. The problem is, when Quran says believe in God, it doesn't say that only. But this is the starting point, though. We should not forget, the universe must have a creator. Yes. But it is not the purpose of the teachings of the Quran. The purpose of the teaching of the Quran to qualify this creator. It means, when I say, or if anybody says, the creator of the universe, it means absoluteness, uniqueness. I mean, other perfect quality, having perfect, unique, absolute qualities of God. Nothing can have this quality at all, even a fraction of it. So if someone hesitates, the whole creature, excuse me, as the Quran says, I love this verse. If someone kills one man, one person, as if he killed all humanity. If someone makes life, it means help somebody to revive or give his life, rather than killing, as if he has revived whole humanity. I mean, of course, the Quran says reviving means really helping somebody to understand the reality of the creation. It is a revival for him. Then, as if you revived all humanity, which means here exactly the same thing. If someone says, this atom, this cell, this, I don't know, particle exists by itself, that's it. The other particles must exist by themselves, and the whole universe exists by itself. It means, even though you may say God created the universe, doesn't matter. Because in your life, every part of the universe must be given to the creator, which means each particle of the universe cannot have, with no exception whatsoever, any quality of Godhead. It means creatorship. So if one says, let's be free in our language, Muhammad was, or Jesus was, or Muhammad had, Jesus had, or Moses had, whatever, or I don't know, Buddha had some sort of divine quality, that's it. You have killed whole universe. It means you denied God, kafir. But I accepted God. Oh, that is the point of the Quran. Believing in the creator of the universe, saying that I am a Muslim, I believe in the creator of the universe, is just a starting point. Very important point, very important step, but just a starting point. If you stay there, you may slip away from this claim in your practical life, and you may kill lots of creatures by claiming that you are creators, you are worthy of worship. Or it means, the Quran says, then if you say Jesus has some sort of divine quality, whatever the form you give to him, some sort of divine quality, aspect of it, or really the incarnation of it, whatever you call it, and then you are saying the universe exists by itself. Your claim to believe in God comes to nothing. That is a very serious matter. So, لِلَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا means why from one event, saying that Mary is telling a lie, it is impossible for the Creator to create a child without being in need of the cause. It means the creator of the order of the universe cannot create anything but obey the order of the universe, and order of the universe acts independently. That's it. That's why Quran says, in the context, the people didn't say we don't believe in God. They said Mary is telling a lie. That's it. And Jesus is claiming now, or declaring now, that فَوَيْلٌ لِلَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا. That is what suffering will come to those who reject the truth. It means deny the creatorship of God. Min mashhad yawmin azim is translated as when they witness the tremendous day. Now, of course, mashhad, it's a manifestation place of witnessing. Of course, manifestation of the place of witnessing, it means we are there and witnessing it. We have to be very careful when they witness a tremendous day, means while they are there witnessing that it is happening. This day, this tremendous day, is measured, witnessing place, where human beings, as far as the addressee of the Quran is concerned, with human beings, where human beings witness the truth manifesting itself clearly with no causal chain appearance at all. Direct will of the Creator is manifesting in their very eyes, if you like. In that day, they will understand that by declaring one part of this universe as having divine quality, what they did, they denied the Creator of the universe. That is what, how, or where the Quran stands for. We have to be very careful about our practical life, not really claiming that I believe in God and I'm done, but I have to be extremely careful in my relationship with the rest of the universe. Now, I'm passing to 156. And because they disbelieved and uttered a terrible slander against Mary, this kufr, بكفرهم وقولهم, this kufr, وبكفرهم وقولهم, their denial of God. But they didn't deny God. They were rabbis. They were sacred people, devout people. But they did not believe that Jesus or effect is directly created by God. That is why They accused Mary. They said, it's possible God creates anything he wants. So let's see. Here is the effective speaking. I am Abdullah. It means I'm created by God. I worship God alone only. I witness this. My creator can be only the creator of the universe. And they say his mother is not chaste, is not a chaste woman. It means telling a lie. It means God cannot create anything, even if they believe it in God, nothing can come into existence unless within the causal chain. That is what it means, really. Bottom line is this. Unless it takes within the causal chain, it means cause and effect relationship. If there was no father, there should never be a child, baby. That's it. But the creator of the causal chain, as it appears to be, can he be bound by the limitations of causal chain, the order that he established? It means that he is not absolute. So there must be miraculous creation, although all creation is obvious, but according to human experience, there must be miraculous creation, especially when a person claims that I am employed by the creator of the universe, God. It means I am his messenger. Then God creates miracles to the people who are accustomed with the order of the universe as it appears to be in our experience. So God creates something unusual for them according to their experience of the order of the universe. It means something unusual to their experience. So demonstrating that God is approving as the owner of the order of the universe. God is approving that by changing it to their for these people, that this person is my messenger and I employed him. That is why this kind of creation must happen. That's why Miriam's pregnancy and Jesus's birth is exceptional as a miracle to demonstrate that Jesus is going to be an appointed messenger by God. From the very childhood, he was given miracles by God. Denying this is a disbelieving and saying something lie. So, بكفرهم وقولهم على مريم بهتانا عظيما, with a terrible slander against Mary. All right, let's go. Well, now it is the verse 75, and it is taken from Ma'idah, section Ma'idah, 5th section of the Quran. The Messiah, the son of Mary, was only a messenger.
We can see the slide, Brother Ali.
Sorry, correct. So you are right. Thank you. The Messiah, the son of Mary, was only a messenger. We will study this, what Messiah is, etc., while we are studying Jesus, inshallah. And he was only a messenger. It means employed, created being. Other messengers had come and gone before him. He's not an exceptional. There are historically many, the human beings know historically there are many messengers. And his mother was a virtuous woman. Again, wrapping up the subject, both ate food like other mortals. That is ridiculous, really. Believing in the Last Supper, and having food with Jesus, all right, and eating together. and then saying he is divine. I mean, I don't know how they make sense of it, but it looks really very irrational. So they ate food, so nothing was special with Mary, especially Catholic section of the Christian belief. It must be very careful about because they have some sort of divine understanding of Mary. So the Qur'an makes it clear, both of them ate food like other mortals. So how clear we make these signs for them. See how deluded they are. It means that's obvious that they are deluded in this understanding. Of course, the Quran is speaking to us rather than the Christians themselves. You should not do the same thing. Of course, we don't do the same thing. We don't say, as I've never seen any student of the Quran saying that Mary or Jesus Mary and Jesus has some sort of divine quality. They don't say it, but of course, by implication, if someone is really saying that God created the atom and his atom is acting on its own, God created the cells and the cells are adapting themselves or really trying to survive by themselves, etc., all are delusions. So 50, 23, 50, Mu'minun, I think, that 23, the section Mu'minun, to 23rd section of the Quran, verse 50, and we made the son of Mary and his mother a sign. This is a sign. Ayah is a miracle, but because we know that we discuss and talk about this verse ayah has many meanings, the sentences of the Quran and the prophetic miracles, the miracles created at the demand of the prophets or to prove the prophethood of the messenger, and also each being in the universe is a miracle, etc. And gave them refuge on high ground, a suitable place for rest with flowing water. It means, really, in the language of the Quran, let me see, Akabe wrote something. Let me complete this verse and then we go there to Akabe's note. A suitable place for rest with flowing water. It means they themselves are really entertaining God's grace, but it is our problem. The creature, the beings out there are just really declaring God's glory. That is my problem, whether to see it and confirm it or deny it. Let me see what Agabe wrote. When did this concept of Trinity emerge? Right after Jesus? If the miracles are the main reason that people base this concept on, why not this concept took place in Islam or Judaism? What does it mean? Which concept took place in Islam or Judaism? Why not this? I didn't take. No, I mean, we don't study history. It is developed after 325 years I think this council in somewhere in Anatolia, Western Anatolia. How is it called? Cynic or some, I don't know. If someone knows the name, the place in the council, they decided.
Nicaea or something?
Sorry?
Nicaea, Nicaea.
Yeah, Nicaea, yeah. Thank you, Nicaea. But doesn't matter really, whenever it is. But not the Jesus, but later on developed theology, still developing, still taking another form. Now, of course, because they are doubtful about it. They don't have any real evidence, really. Just their claim. They said the text says this, but the text is interpreted in any way you like. So I don't know. In Muslims, there is no such concept. I mean, among the students of the Quran, there is no such concept. But we have to be very careful as being the students of the Quran, not giving any quality to any creature, treating them. Of course, we claim that everything is created by God, but seeing them as to be the source of any joy, any enjoyment, any satisfaction, etc. Any satisfaction. Not knowing clearly that they are created by God, directly given to us. They are nothing but employees of the Creator, appointed employees of the Creator. So 50, 23. 50 is, they are enjoying their life. You know, those people who don't believe, you don't believe, who are aware that the universe, there is nothing in the universe self-existing or giving existence to anything or to be the source of anything at all. They are all means where God is presenting to human being. So every creature in the in creation is a ذات قرار معين. رابط ذات قرار معين is a suitable place, and it means we feel whatever happens in this world, we like it, we dislike it, and under the teachings or with the guidance of the Quran, whatever we see in this world is a place of peace for the students of the Quran. Why? There we see nothing but the manifestations of God's promise. I am with you. I am the creator of this. There is no evidence we can find otherwise. No. So for the students of the Quran, everywhere is the place of enjoyment. In this world, you see God and you feel secure in your existence. Last night, it is from Ali Imran, chapter 3, 44, verse. This is an account of things beyond your knowledge. That is important. Although time is up, let's wrap it up.
Can you see the verse also? Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry. I forgot. I use my computer there and change it there. I don't change the screen here. So this is an account of things beyond your knowledge. Now speaking to the Prophet first and the students of the Quran. You didn't know what exactly happened as it is historically narrated to Mary, to Jesus, to Torah, to Moses, whatever. Now, specifically telling the first to the Prophet and asking us, really, can the Prophet know the reality of Jesus and Mary or by himself? He has been here in Mecca. He hears that there are Christians in the west side of where he lived in Mecca, while he first received the message from God. He didn't study what Christianity is. He didn't go into these details of the nature of this event. Even the Christian scholars are not very settled down about it, but the message was sent to Muhammad. Of course, we are not expecting to the personality of Muhammad, that he is the source of this knowledge. He would never, ever, in no way that he would know this nature of this reality. How even the Christian scholars are really swingling from one place to another, from one idea to another, struggling within themselves. But we understand that the way the Quran presents to us is really so great that we feel in the universe as if we are, if you like, in a transitory paradise. Of course, paradise by definition cannot be, but it's a sample of paradise. This universe is a sample of paradise, but not paradise. I think you understand me. You were not present among them when they cast lots to see which one of them should be the guardian of Mary. Of course, he wouldn't know that Mary was devoted to the temple, and the scholars or those people who are there, who have been there and devote their life to God for years. Of course, this Mary, a young girl, should be taken care of. They want, I will take her of, I will take her of. Of course, this is human nature, isn't it? Within our factory settings, that if a baby is left to you, you love to take care of the baby. That is how we are created. Of course, they all wanted to do it, but they cast lots. It means really, let's say, whoever is chosen by these lots, and then he will take care of him, the Zechariah got it. So you were not present with them when they argued about her. Yeah, of course, these are the first ones are the good ones, then they are taking care of Mary. And then when those people, especially rabbis, rejected or accused Mary to be dishonest, then you were not there, you wouldn't know what happened, but we are telling you the truth. And so far, as far as the witnessing of the creation of the universe is concerned, we see no contradiction. We see no contradiction. What Quran explains the reality of this matter, Mary and Jesus, and the birth of Jesus, and we confirm it because it is witnessed. Not only we confirm it because Quran said so, first, we confirm it because it really fits to the reality of creation, what we are experiencing here. It really fits it. Even the prophetic miracles are created by God, not by the prophets. That is what is very important. So we understand that, yes, a human being, a mortal being like Jesus, Muhammad, Moses, whatever the names are, they cannot be the creators. Here they are all dead. So the body is there, so we know that. So no doubt about it, when we can really confirm this message as the Quran tells us. But if only we should not read the Quran literally and take it as a narration of a story, but it is explanation of the nature of our life and our world in our life and our creation in this world. Then we can easily confirm that what the Quran is saying is witnessed by the creation, by our feelings, and we confirm it, inshallah. So next week, we will, inshallah, start with the story of Jesus. Any question, any comment, any concerns? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.